Dr. Dinesh, have you joined now?
सर ऑडियो कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ उनका, मैं कंटिन्यू कर दूं?
Please.
आप कर दीजिए, continue, हाँ.
So today's our guest is Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed. As we all know, IFPH is basically an initiative to connect more to more doctors together. And in this way, we have today's guest, Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed, with us. He is a BHMS, IFM, FINEM, MBA, HCS. He has 15 years of clinical experience. And today his topic is homeopathy aspects of functional medicine. I welcome you, sir, on this IFPH platform English session. And please, you can initiate your session today, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manish. Thank you for your wonderful session. I could take part in the later part of your session. So thank you so much for inviting me. This is my first session in English. I did 3 or 4 sessions in Malayalam, of course, in our local language. Well, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity. Can I share my screen? Yes.
Yes, sir, please.
Give me a minute. Well, hope you can see my screen now. Yes, you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So my topic of the discussion today is functional medicine, a homeopathic perspective. So I have multiple parts for this. And let me just show you the first 2 parts. First part is why we fail to address chronic diseases. This is the outline I'm trying to give you. And for understanding that, for getting an answer for that question, we are going to visit a cave, and we will revisit the cave again in the modern time. First, we are going to visit the cave. For that, we travel 2,400 years back to ancient Rome, visit Plato's cave, then revisit the cave, and then we will try to examine the chaos, trends, and awakenings and aspiration which is happening in the field of medical sector today. And we will try to examine a relation between functional medicine and homeopathy as siblings or brothers, whatever it is. So we'll try to probe the umbilical cord connection between these 2 great systems of medicine. So today, with the first part of the presentation, this is the outline which I'm trying to connect through. So when we look into the global perspective of major killers, the last 5 years, the percentage of increase in the prevalence, in the incidence of major killers, cancer has increased 27% than 5 years before. 13% of diabetes cases and its complication, 25% in various respiratory complaints like including COVID, and 28% increase in heart diseases, both myocardial, both ischemic and non-ischemic heart diseases. Especially the increase happens in particular sector called acute sudden cardiac death prevalences, which is happening like anything in these days. So these are the picture of major killers in the global perspective. Why we fail, despite having all those great measures, technology, all those great medicines, new molecules, new armamentarium, new systems of medicines are coming in. And why, despite having all those technology in medicine, in physics, in chemistry, all coming together, now we are much stronger than before, but we are seeing greater incidents in all these major killers. Why it is happening? To decode this question, to understand the answer, let me invite you to a cave. Let us go back to 2,400 years back to a cave of Plato, and let us see what the people inside the cave are going to tell us and how they connect us to the modern day ignorance we are in currently today. So let me show you the anatomy of a cave here. This is the Plato's cave, and to the extreme left you will see the fire. And after the fire, you will see 3 workers of the cave who are moving around randomly, holding pots, artifacts, various things in their heads. And you will see a cozy wall where a bunch of prisoners of the caves leaning on and watching something called a wall of illusion. We can call this bunch of people are prisoners of the cave. So we have the fire, the workers of the cave, and a cozy wall where the prisoners of the caves are leaning on, and the people, the prisoners of the cave, are watching something which is in the other side of the their seat, which is called the wall of illusion. So every morning they wake up. There is another category here in this, which is very important set of people. We call them as masters of the cave. They are not in this picture, but we will see them soon. Okay, so the morning, the prisoners wake up only to see what is new in the wall of the illusion. They will see new animals, new scenes and new scenarios. They talk about it. They discuss about those. What is going to happen the next? What will be just like our serials in our soap serials, which happens in our modern day televisions. They sit and wait for every scenes to come. They discuss about that. They rate, they mark, they like, they dislike. So this is what they are, and they are living only for that. They are so immersed in that they don't feel the pain of the shackles, pain of the chain. They don't see the darkness around. They don't care about the chains and incarceration. They are not worried about anything like that. They are not worried about the freedom. They are not enjoying. They don't know what the freedom is. They don't know that even the concept of freedom, what it is. And they are there in the chains ever since they're born. They're born, and the similar caves, similar thousands of people are chained as prisoners of the. This is the system we have in the cave allegory of Plato. And let us go further to the story. One fine morning, one of the guy in the chain, one of the prisoners of the bar, he had a strange feeling. He thought of undoing his shackles, his chains. He tried to pull the hands off. He tried to pull the legs off. He tried to undo the shackle around his neck. He freed it. With some effort, he freed his hands, his head, his neck, and his legs, and he's free now. He thought of standing up, and he stood up. And then he decided to walk on. He started walking. And he saw something very strange he has not seen ever before. He has never seen this. Like a set of puppets, okay, which he has not seen. He had not seen behind the cozy wall. So he saw the puppets today, and he was amazed. He saw the real thing of the shadows he has seen so far. These are the puppets who were creating shadows to the wall of delusion. All these years he was watching, and now he see the real puppets. So he was very happy to see that. Then looking further, he saw a set of people who are controlling these puppets. So he saw the new truth there. He thought puppets are the truth. He was thinking the shadows of the wall was truth. Now he saw a new truth, which is called the controllers of the puppets or workers of the cave. Then he further explored. He explored further and he saw a larger being there, a bigger person, a stronger person with large hands. He is the controller of the workers of the caves. So he is the master, he is the powerful, he is the ultimate truth. And this is the thought which came into the mind of the person who started to seek the truth. We can call this person who undo his shackles, undo his chains, and started to explore. We can call him as the person who is seeking the truth. He is a seeker. Okay, and his seeker started walking further. He saw a blazing fire, a crackling fire. Then he realized this is the ultimate truth. Because of the light of this fire, the puppet casted shadows to the wall of the illusion. So he has ultimately find the ultimate truth. He was very happy, and he has decided this is the final truth. But a moment after, he saw something more brilliant, more beautiful, more dazzling. That was the mouth of the cave. He moved further to see the mouth of the cave, and he passed beyond the mouth of the cave and see something more splendid, more colorful, more lively. He started everything moving. All those puppets he has seen in its full life, full splendor, in its life, in its animation, in its vibe. He started to see every animals, every birds in flocks, and he started to see the greenery, the vast expanse of sky and mountains and all those beautiful things. He started moving without any shackle, without any chain. He started enjoying those moving. He started exploring new things, and he has now seen the reality in its full beauty and splendor. And the new discovery made him so happy, and he thought, in a moment, he thought of his old friends. He thought of going back to the cave and invite them to the new reality, to save them from the darkness of the shackle, from the darkness of the cave, from the pain of the shackle, pain of the chains, to the freedom of moving. So he went there, he invited them. To his utter dismay, to his utter disappointment, his friends ridiculed him, abused him. They said, "You are mad, you are a liar, we don't believe that. There is nothing more beautiful than this darkness, there is nothing more beautiful than this mirage, these images, these shadows." So they started abusing him. They even tried to kill him. They started pelting stones on him. And with his dear life, he escaped the cave, started exploring further. So what did we learn from the cave visit we have visited a moment ago? And we are all happy. In the created darkness, we are, and when I say we, the modern civilization, we are all, every parties, everything, every one of us, we are all happy with the created darkness we are engulfed in, and we enjoy the shackles we are enchained in, and we entertain, even we are addicted to the mirage, visions and illusions we are shown by the masters of the cave. And masters of the cave, they decide what you should watch and what we should not. And if you are ready to undo the chains, if you are ready to move their hands out of the chains, out of the shackles, you can subdue the chains. You can free yourself. If at all you are ready to move, if you decided to walk on, if you decided to move further beyond the cave, you will find the brilliance and beauty of the real world. You may get killed. And one of the most painful, most revealing revelation of the cave story is that it is the victim of the cave who are the victim than the perpetrators who may kill you if you dare to speak against the system. And we have new caves. What is more interesting is we have talked about a cave 400 years ago. Coming back, you will see more caves similar to that. More caves Plato have pictured. The examples of the cave, we will see more masters of the cave. We will see similar workers of the cave. We will see all around the slaves and the puppets. Okay, so these are all there, persist in more diversity, more multiforms in modern day civilization. For examples like medical system, educational system, our economic system, political system, whatever system you will see a similar sort of cave scenario, the darkness, shackle, and prisoners in slavery, and so many other things. So this is what is happening in even today's world. So let us see in the field of medicine, what kind of slavery, what kind of cage system exists, or cave system exists. If you see the modern masters of the new cave, you will see the pandemic Billy, the the man who has predicted the first pandemic several years ago. He talked about it, and now last year he has, planned or predicted another pandemic for coming years, and God forbid, and maybe we don't know when it is going to happen. So we are expecting something, and he's already predicted it. And Johansson is another master of the cave of AstraZeneca. He's the one who last month he has confessed that they made grievous mistake in creating mRNA vaccines and the dangers of vaccines. So Pfizer is another giant in big pharma. Albert Bourla and a lot of other allegations against him is there. So he has deliberately gave a lot of misleading statement about children vaccine. These are the new masters, and there are a few books which you can read about these masters and slave system stories, like Empire of Pain is a wonderful book, and Great Cholesterol Con and Truth About the Drug Empire companies. These are some of the interesting books coming from the masters. Let us come to the workers of the cave. You will see one Mr. Anthony Fauci, very interesting person. He's been there in the Simhasans, the throne of the CDC for last 45 years without moving. I don't know anybody else is sitting for long. Not other dictators in any of the countries sit so long in the throne than Anthony Fauci, 45 years. And he is the one who stole one of his old colleagues' study about AIDS and published it on his own name. So this is Anthony Fauci, CDC. He is the one who is the new worker of the cave. He is the one who show us the puppets. And Tedros of Ethiopia, the master, the supremo of World Health Organization. These are the examples of workers of the cave. Okay, coming to the puppets, whatever we believe in, whatever we are enjoying today, whatever we strongly embrace as reality and truth, these are the fallacy wall or the wall of illusion we are watching every day. We are seeing and reading CNN, Facebook, YouTube. For example, YouTube will censor every narrative, every counter narrative, every counter argument which we talk about with pharma. And for example, if you want to know what is the version of homeopathy in Wikipedia, you go and see. You will find at least 20 times it is attributed, homeopathy to what? To pseudoscience. Okay, Wikipedia cannot say homeopathy without saying it is pseudoscience. So this is the new age of puppets, new age of narratives we are all watching and believing in. So this is what the world at large are reading and going through. So let us examine the COVID narrative of medical hegemony with this perspective of cave story. They taught us the medical hegemony, the masters and the puppets made us believe that this is novel, this is new, nothing is never been like this. We have never seen anything stronger terror, any serious thing than this before. So this is shortly, even the very name itself was novel coronavirus. So no cure. They deliberately put a name as novel. So there is no cure for this. Allopathy or modern medicine do not have any medicine for this. So no other camp shouldn't claim that you have something. So T camp should not treat, should not claim to have preventing, should not even talk a word about COVID-19. Be there in your cave and enjoy the show. Vaccines is the only solution. Be patient until we cook the vaccine, or be patient and wait for that, or die happily on the altar of science instead of following some unscientific pseudoscience like homeopathy or alternative system. This has been the narrative we've been strongly and actively in place in those days in mainstream media. And again, we all know about immunity. We know herd immunity. We know innate immunity. We know host defense. But during the days of COVID, the cave masters and their puppets gave us some of the new stories. They said there is nothing called innate immunity. Once you are exposed to, virus, we know many things about the virology. We know the host factors. We know the agent factors. But during the time of COVID, all these are buried. All these are cancelled. They made us believe that there is nothing called agent factor. There is no relevance for viral load. Even the slightest viral load can make you sick. And there is there is nothing called stress factors. They were terrorizing people. People were dying out of terror. And terror is compromising their immunity. The cortisols in gushes, in huge amount, suppressing the immunity. People were dying out of immunosuppressant effect of stress and panic. This was what is happening there. So they were talking about new realities or created reality with the created darkness around it. And those days we saw few seekers of the truth. You remember the seeker of the truth in the cave, who dared to walk out of the cave, who enjoy the brightness of the day. And we have seen many seekers of the cave who escaped the cave narrative, the darkness of the cave. And Bruce Lipton, one of them, he was the cell biologist, a great champion of epigenetics. And again, Dr. J. Bhattacharya, a Stanford professor, professor of Harvard, and Dr. J. Lapado. He's not a normal person. He's the Surgeon General of Florida, one of the premium health authority in the field of medicine in Florida, in America. And Dr. Rashid Bhattar, a painful story of Rashid Bhattar, we can, I will tell you later. And those days, you must have seen, many of them have seen this great Barrington Declaration. 6,000 doctors, researchers, great think tanks in the field of medicine of various Ivy League universities. They are not normal doctors. All the 6,000 doctors, researchers of great prominence have started to talk about something which was coming in the mainstream media. They talked about against lockdown. They talked about heavy masking. They spread awareness about fallacies of indiscriminate social distancing, and they try to aware us, make us aware about the terrorizing effect of people, and they try to create calmness. They try to create the new reality. They talked about terrorizing people by the statutory organizations like CDC and WHO. Few names of the 6,000 people are Dr. Martin Kodoff of Harvard. He's an epidemiologist. Another epidemiologist is Sinatra Gupta. J. Bhattacharya I have already, and Dr. Lapado, and Dr. E. Townsend, and Dr. McKeeger of Edinburgh University are a few names to say. So these are the names who were there, who were ready to walk out of the darkness as seeker of the truth. So I spoke to you about Dr. Rashid Bhattar. He was a very articulate person against the mainstream media about the COVID narratives, but he was final days. He after an interview in CNN, he spoke about that somebody poisoned me, and I'm gravely ill. After 2 days, he succumbed to death, and many believe that he was killed for the sake of truth, for the reason he has spoken about the mainstream narratives. One of the example of how our mainstream media have been corrected by the masters of the New Age civilization. One of the very interesting documentary was Plandemic. There is a similar name. There is another book called The Plandemic with a similar title. This is a small 30 minutes plandemic, what do you call that? Movie or documentary. And this documentary been soon banned by most of the mainstream channels like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and been attacked by all mainstream media like CNN, BBC, and all those big names in the printed media like Washington Post. And if you search Plandemic, you won't find this movie anymore. But you will see so many stories about trivializing, ridiculing this particular documentary. You will see thousands of them, but you won't see the original version. You won't see anything which is supportive of this Plandemic movie. Any of those many videos came after in support of this Plandemic movie been deleted. Similarly, like this particular what do you call that documentary. So this is the freedom of expression we all boast in the field of medicine. So this is the hegemony of author of medicine which we are seeing. So they are losing their ground under their feet. You will see recently of many failed narratives about statins, about cholesterol diet. They spoke about many things about the dangers of eating eggs. Today they are swallowing eggs. Those narratives. Today they are swallowing those stamp they put on, coconut oils and many other things. Today the paradigm is changing. They cannot fool people anymore like that. So this is what is happening in the field of medicine. So, and you have seen the confession of AstraZeneca recently. So things are changing. What is happening in the field of complementary medicine? On the other hand, we are all, we saw there is a gap in the scenario, and the mainstream medicine is created a gap there, and people are confused, and we are failing ourselves from our side also to fill this gap. To tell you the truth, this is my version. Okay, you must have another perspective on that. I'm happy with that. Okay, but what I believe is, being a modern ultra scientific method like homeopathy, but we don't have that language, that communication to express our scientificity, to express our art and philosophy to the modern world, because we have not worried about that. We are happy with what we are. So last 200 years we didn't work on any of this. I'll come to that further. Okay, we are going to face, being homeopaths, we are going to face a new generation of people like Generation Z and Generation Alpha, who all these generation are 20 years, 25 years, or 10 years, 15 years. These new generation who are going to, see us in our clinical practice are not the same that we have seen all these years before. So we need to understand we need to learn them about, and we need to have new language to communicate with them. We need to be more evidence-based. We need to be more, rational in speaking to them. They are not happy with the kind of empirical examples and evidence we are going to give them. So this is what we are going to face in the coming years. So we should work on that. And there is, in this chaos, in this gap that is created by new pandemic, so many other things, new versions of medicine is coming. So many quacks are coming. So many versions are coming. Counter argumentation, counter, versions, counter philosophies. One sect will come and say that do not do exercise. If you go to YouTube, you will see all those narrations and stories. Some guys will say, don't do exercise. Walking is a waste of time. Just dieting alone can save you. And two extremes of carnivorism and vegetarianism fight each other. They're trying to swallow each other. And again, the wholesome nutrition is bogus. It is the version of supplementation advocates. This is happening now. in the field of medicine, chaos is happening. And there are people who talk about, even the mainstream, medicine itself. They said, stress is not another thing. You take a pill, nothing to worry about stress. You don't have anything to do with, in changing your stress pattern. Simply take a magic pill. Your stress is gone. This is what is happening in there. And again, in this turbulent water, in this troubled water, there are people, there are quacks in various facets, various names, various tools, emerging with various, fishing nets. There are, you will see every corner of the city, you will see centers of piles and festulas, so many names of abundance and quackeries, many multi-level marketing scams who are indiscriminately selling supplements. And today we see in our place called in Kerala, mushrooming of in a quack acupuncture, systems, acupuncture, centers in Kerala. I don't know in the other part of India. So many big buzzes are happening. So there is a ray of hope happening in this chaos. In this chaos, you will see a set of people from the Ivy League universities. These are from the premier universities of US and Europe. People are coming forward with a new system of medicine. They talk about new, new language of system, medicine. Okay, so they bring the beauty of the art of homeopathy, the art of ancient systems, alternative systems like homeopathy, Ayurveda, Chinese medicine. They bring this beauty of all this ancient system or alternative system, and they integrate that with the precision, clarity, and methodology of modern science. And we call it as a new name called functional medicine. This is what the functional medicine is. It has other names like cellular medicine. It has some other names called the precision medicine or integrative medicine. All these are functional medicine. So what is functional medicine? It's the integration of new way of thinking by a set of people who dare to question the darkness, who dare to come out of the, the cages or caves. And what is functional medicine? Functional medicine, the basic principles of functional medicine, you will see many parallelism, comparison, or similarity of these principles with our own system called homeopathy. Functional medicine principles like this is based on system biology or holistic approach. Rather than seeing human being as a bunch of spare parts, a bunch of heart, and cardiologists talk only about heart, and hepatologists talk only about liver, and we are all spare part for them. For the modern system of medicine, it is highly reductionist, highly minimalistic, and they talk about organ biology than system biology or holistic approach. Okay, functional medicine is something like holistic approach. It has an holistic approach which is based on system biology, which says that every organ of our bodies talking, every cell of our bodies talking to another cell. Every system of our body is speaking and communicating to another organ. Our brain is speaking to liver is speaking to kidney. This is happening, randomly and actively in a beautifully intelligent way. So this is what functional medicine is teaching us. This is what we homeopaths also believing in. And again, personalized care. We are the proponents of personalized care. We have been all these many centuries, last 250 years, we are talking about that. And now functional medicine is talking about personalized care. And it talk about personalization of genetics, lifestyle, environmental factors, and it try to understand a person's aspects of all these in personal perspective. So they will try to understand. In functional medicine, we try to understand the root cause of the conditions, whether the cause is in gut. Is it because of the hormone imbalance? Is it because of the inflammation, chronic inflammation, or nutrition deficiencies, or all these to get together? Try to understand what is happening in the cellular level. So for understanding this, the functional medicine go to the detailed investigation of all these systems, gut, microbiome, hormone, dysbiosis and imbalance, chronic inflammation and inflammatory markers, nutritional deficiency markers. So functional medicine is strongly believe in evidences. So it start every engagement with patient, start with complete mapping of all these personalized parameters and biomarkers and body markers. And it is natural. Functional medicine is totally natural and it is non-violent. It strongly believe in what Hippocrates say, that primum non nocere, or cause no damage primarily. That is the fundamental principle of any treatment. If at all you are not treating, at least keep away from creating damage. This is primum non nocere. So you will see a lot of new science emerging in. And this new science are science for everybody. It can be a science for homeopathy, it can be science for Ayurveda, it can be science for. But people who are in the functional medicine are upholding the science. They try to learn more about it. They're trying to explore it. We have all studied all these, new omic science, otherwise called omic science, genomics, metabolomics, microbiomics, and nutrigenomics, and epigenetics, and exposomics. These are the new science which is emerging since last couple of decades, which is giving us new insights, new ray of hope in the field of medicine. Let me just briefly compare, and we'll be exploring further in detail about what is homeopathy, how homeopathy is connected to functional medicine in the coming session, maybe next week of coming week, if I get an opportunity to speak to you. Let me just go through the connection, parallelism, a comparison between two systems, which is highly connected, functional medicine and homeopathy. The core philosophy of functional medicine is, as I said, it is evidence-based, system biology approach, personalized care, root cause focused. When it comes to homeopathy, we say that we are based on similia similibus, and we believe in minimum dose, we believe in potentization, and functional medicine is respecting all this homeopathic philosophy in high regard. Then diagnostic approach in functional medicine is, in functional medicine, we use advanced laboratory techniques, testing, and we use various comprehensive health assessments. And we do biocomposition analysis. We try to understand person's life assessment, like sleep, example, like sleep chronotyping, to understand person's sleep pattern. In homeopathy, we have very unique diagnostic approach. Other than clinical diagnosis, we rely on clinical approach, though our clinical approach is insufficient, though we are learned and educated professionally in clinical examination in detail. We are all surgeons, but in practice, what I have seen is, unfortunately, many of the homeopaths, this is my version, I'm sorry if I say that, this is what is happening according to me. We do not do clinical examination as we were supposed to do. This is something we are highly, overlooked in our clinical practice. And again, we have good tools which we, of course, practice in our in our patient engagement, called direct personality focus. And we try to understand what direct personality is in diagnosing the person. And we do the observation, tongue, nails, and all, if at all we are doing. And we have a very comprehensive case intake, though we compromise in clinical examination or physical examination. We have a very detailed patient interview, which is very unique. And we have a very unique repertorization system, which is so amazing as a diagnostic tool. And coming to treatment modalities, diet, stress, sleep, workout management, these are the few early engagement by functional medicine. And functional medicine support with functional supplementation and herbal, botanical, and homeopathic medicine. Most of the functional medicine doctors boldly and openly suggest and refer homeopathic medicine in case when there is a there is a requirement of medicine. And homeopathy, of course, mostly natural medicine we use poisons, minerals in ultra high dilutions. And our goal is to optimize vital force, to bring the vital force back to its optimal balanced state. And we try to correct miasm by miasmatic corrections. Coming to evidence-based, functional medicine is highly evidence-based, very, very precision in evidences. And coming to homeopathy, we resort heavily on empirical and anecdotal evidence than lab or metabolic evidences or clinical evidences, or something called mathematic evidences. Coming to hormesis pathway, which is another thing. Homeopathy was the system which have been a great proponents of hormesis. Our system is based strongly and basically, based on hormetic principles. And now, in functional medicine, we have a lot of tools, lot of techniques, lot of intervention, which is based on hormetic principle or hormetic pathway. So this is my last slide, which is a summary of what we have already seen. Homeopathy, similarity between homeopathy and functional medicine, root cause based, and coming to homeopathy is genetic, and both are personalized, and we have a causal theory called indisposition, exciting, and maintaining cause as the causal theories in homeopathy. In functional medicine, prenatal triggers, and again the early childhood triggers, and other lifestyle related triggers, and a lot of perpetuating factors related to lifestyle and environmental factors. These are the causal factors of functional medicine, and both are holistic, both are alternation of diseases. When we talk about system biology teaches something called alternative diseases. When we learn about homeopathy, we see a lot of alternation of diseases in materia medica. Chest complaint is alternating with kidney problems, or arthritis alternating with, when we see that, the modern system people, they mock us, they ridicule us. But in functional medicine, being the proponents of, being the champions of system biology, we believe in functional medicine that alternation of disease is a reality. And both believe in lifestyle factors, but in functional medicine, it is highly regarded, it is highly taken care. But in homeopathy, in reality, although we believe in lifestyle factors, in practice, we do not give much care to that. And again, as I have mentioned earlier, evidence-based, we both believe that we have evidences, but we are in empirical evidence. But in functional medicine is strongly evidence-based, and it is a precision medicine. It has a lot of metrics to understand the therapeutic modalities, efficacy of functional medicine. So we have a lot to learn. We can use all these functional medicine modalities perspective in homeopathic practice without any further theoretical validation. Only thing we need to do is spend some time, try to learn, try to go for some courses. I did many courses in functional medicine to upgrade my knowledge. I advise, I suggest, and I ask you, my friends, to do the same if you want to increase and enhance our homeopathic practice into the next level to meet the challenges of modern civilization, to speak to the modern world, to speak to the people who are looking forward for the evidences, to communicate with the people of new generation of generation Z and generation Alpha. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, and I open to the podium for discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed. It's really an excellent session, really a beautiful session. You should really show the beauty of the medicinal aspect of different system and how it can be mixed together to form a new system. That's why the frustration of the people from the allopathic side, because of giving the so much of medication, force them to left out of the field, and then they want to make it a mixture of combining with the all the so other systems that are very good for health, or the people who are utilizing those systems for the purpose of their treatment. So mixing all those things together with all those latest technologies, that is what is all about functional medicine. We are very happy to have such a wonderful session. We really heard about all those things in the beginning, but we were thinking that it is something else, but it is not something else, but it is really a very good thinking and integrating different systems in for the betterment of a person, just like what we call as integrated medicine or something like that. But the functional medicine have its own beauty. Of course, homeopathy can do some wonders with that people. And as you mentioned, at the time of pandemic, people were making theories in favor of the old school of medicine, that we must say that allopathy school of medicine. And so that they are bringing that these are the things which are supposed to be new to the world, and we need to contain people here and there by all those lockdowns and asking people to wear masks. You have to wash your hands, as if none of us were washing our hands before. This is as if something has opened for the first time, that people we were supposed to washing. We were living in in an ancient world without washing our hands or without washing our mouth like that.
True.
All those theory they created for a purpose of eliminating 15% of people from the entire world, and that's what they achieved through such kind of propagation. And as we all know that what happened at the end is a lot of death, and they given the credit to COVID, but actually the deaths were not due to COVID, but because of the maltreatment met by the patients in the name of COVID. Thank you, Dr. Najeeb. And it's a time for discussion. Those who want to have a question, or those who want to say something more, something about your presentation, please raise your hand. I invited Dr. Ramparisa sir to begin with the speech.
Thank you, Dr. Dhaneji. Congratulations, Dr. NAJEEB AHAMMED sir. Very nice
Thank you, Doctor.
presentation. Very
Thank you,
nice
sir.
presentation. Excellent session.
Thank you.
Functional medicine according to homeopathy, and functional diseases according to homeopathy. Functional diseases, functional medicine. Functional diseases, electrical imbalance, hormonal balance, environmental, electrical imbalance.
True.
It's called functional disease.
Yes.
And functional medicine is a dynamic according to homeopathic. Very, very nice presentation. I am very glad your presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, sir.
कहा भी गया है कि चित जल पावक गगन समीरा, 5 तत्व से बना शरीरा. यानी पृथ्वी आकाश इलेक्ट्रिकल इनबैलेंस है, जिसके कारण से हम बीमार पड़ते हैं. ऐसे मेन कॉज ऑफ डिजीज अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ ऑफ होम्योपैथिक साइंस, माइंड. मोह सकल व्याधिन कर मूला, तिनते पुनि उदहि बहुशीला. मोह सकल, मोही इज कॉल्ड फंक्शनल डिजीज. मोह मीन्स लगाव, ज्यादा लगाव. इज कॉल्ड. थैंक यू सर.
Now I invite Dr. Bhumika Bhatt to raise your question, or you can say something about the presentation. Dr. Bhumika. Yes, you are not responding. So now I would like to ask a question to Dr. Najeeb. How we can proceed these things to our colleges so that people will, students will know about all these things, and what is the attitude of our so-called intellectual people.
Thank you so much for that question. It's a brilliant question. Thank you so much for that. This is actually something which is the knowledge is there, the discipline is there, system is there, and it is not easy for us to change the curriculum in a fine morning. This is what I understand. But what we can do is we can at least incorporate this as a super speciality. Like in MD, we can have a functional medicine as homeopathic, you know, in homeopathic hospitals as MD, okay, or super speciality or something like a specialty discipline. That is one way. Other than that, homeopathic doctors can individually explore and join in many courses. Okay, there are courses available in international platform like functional medicine university is there, IFM is there, Institute for Functional Medicine. There are so many other reputed organizations who are giving fellowships and certifications. This is one way, and we can do that. And what the thing we can do is we need to first and foremost to have an open mind for learning. We have that mind for learning, and if we are not happy with what we are doing today, and we will start learning new things. Once we are starting, this is something we need to start with. So what I suggest is homeopathic authorities should seriously think about incorporating functional disciplines, various elements of, all these omics are public. It is not the property of any system. Nutrigenomics, then exposomics, microbiomics, these are all public. It should be, the homeopathy doctor should learn about it. It is science. It is new science. And these science are validating our own system. We have been talking all these 250 years. And after the emergence of these new revelations, the homeopathy has a more stronger position in more modern world as a system, because new reveal, for example, we were talking about friendly bacteria. We were talking about bowel nosodes. We were talking about last 1 century. Okay. Now functional medicine and new medical science is talking about a microbiome or human microbiota in a very big way. So we are all connected. Homeopathy was the real science all these years. Now the modern science is coming to homeopathy, interestingly, but we homeopaths are not realizing what is happening on the other world. And we should go we should reach there. We should walk. We should come out of there.
Just one more question. How
Yes.
you entered in the field of this functional medicine, and what prompted you to go ahead with this functional medicine?
Yes, I was not happy with the because I was getting great results in homeopathy practice, but often I may not get, I may met a dead end also. I may not get what is happening. I don't know. But I don't know how to measure it. And I was worried about how I can substantiate whether I'm going to the right direction or not. So there is no metrics. There is no, parameter I can measure whether I'm going through the right direction. After giving a medicine, I have to wait 2 weeks, 1 month, maybe 2 months to see whether it is causing, whether I'm going to the right direction. These are my own, personal limitation. Maybe have been to. Then I started. Then again, one more thing I was into since last 25 years is during my even before I go to homeopathy, I was interested in 2 things: alternative medicine and alternative education. In alternative medicine, there was a movement called, you must be heard about something called new thinking or new thought. So it's a kind of, it has a lot of ramification. New thought is a movement, and it has a lot of, and new thought, there are so many disciplines in place who talk about alternative systems and cellular medicine, energy medicines. So I was following few of those great names like Mercola, like Androville. Last 20 years I've been following them, and they were the proponents of functional medicine. But those years there was no courses, curriculums, education system. So over the years I learned it, and I have enrolled myself in various courses. But my interest in alternative system and alternative education was there during my years of, pre-degree, maybe pre-university. Those years I have studied one book called, Medical Nemesis. You must be heard of that. Medical Nemesis by Ivan Illich. And that single book was questioning all the contemporary thought of medicine prevailing in our modern world. So that is why I started loving homeopathy. I started exploring more beyond homeopathy in functional medicine. Thank you.
Okay, very good answer. That's the way. That's why only those people who have such a kind of thoughts can reach to the higher levels. That's how you reach in this topmost level in this functional medicine aspect. Also, not leaving that also at homeopathy also. So anyway, congratulations for your excellent session in this evening, and you shared your thoughts on functional medicine as well as how we can go to the higher level in that way. The purpose of treatment is to cure or restore the patient back to health without any damage. That's what the aim of all the medical system, particularly homeopathy and the functional medicine also. Thank you. I invite Dr. Ramparaj sir to say a vote of thanks to this session also. Please unmute. Please unmute.
Thank you, Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed sir. Very good presentation, beautiful described functional medicine. Behalf of IFPH team, very, very thanks. Again presentation, again system, again topic. Very, very thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Najeeb. Hope we will have the second part of the same in the coming edition. I think we have arranged a session in very coming in next week or so. So hope you will be there with us. So the second session also tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Abdullah Kuti, and he will be talking about the relationship healing with homeopathy. That's another aspect of this kind of same presentation by Dr. Najeeb. Thank you all. Good night. Good night.